All right. Good morning, everybody. Good Monday morning, June 22nd. Wow, already June 22nd, 2026. Glad to have you guys with us here today. We're going to get started right about, I don't know, I'd say now. And get rocking today. It's Call Star Blitz Day, my friends. This is an exciting time. It's always fun to have Call Stars going on. That's kind of what we're going to chat about today. We're going to explore that in depth, Chris. Like, what
right
the
on.
heck are we doing today, right?
This
Like,
is
let's make this a good day. You know, let's make it a great day. That's what we're going to do today. So we're going to kind of get started here. Thatcher Zeus, what's going on, man? How are you, brother? Unmute real quick. I got to chat with you. What's going on?
Yeah. Good weekend.
Yeah. Where you at? Where you located?
I am in New Haven, Connecticut.
Connecticut, New Haven. You know, I spent about a year in Groton, Connecticut in submarine school out there. Basic. Yeah. Sub
Famous
school.
place. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a great time.
Yeah, they're about to hire another 5,000 people. Real estate's booming up there. That's leading to
Really?
Yeah.
In Groton?
Electric boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Big real
There you
estate
go.
up there. Yeah.
So they had a couple fun quick stories, and we'll get started. I don't waste a lot of time here, but I rented a house off base with 3 other sailors. Okay, so we wanted to live off base because we got off base housing. We made a little more money. You know, we could live off base. But this is back in 1981 or whatever. And but the house that we to heat it, like out here in California, we got natural gas. It's piped right into the house to heat the home. But out there, there are these big barrels of tanks that you filled with some kind of oil. You had to pay an oil company to come out and fill this barrel of oil underneath the house, right? And that's what got your heat going and your hot water and the whole thing. Of course, Chris, poor sailors in Groton, Connecticut. How often do you think we filled that thing up?
Never.
Right? Yeah. So it was chilly. I had a chilly experience in Groton, Connecticut. Yeah.
We still have them.
Yeah, it's a trip, huh?
First question you ask when you walk in the house, is it oil or gas?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a
electric.
trip.
Some of the houses are still electric. That's painful.
And this was like a duplex. So there was another tenant that lived up on top, right? I'm not gonna lie, we'd siphon his oil out of his tank. We would put it in ours because we were freezing. We were just like, come on, let's go down and steal some oils. We go down there, we'd make sure he wasn't home. We'd siphon oil out of his tank and put it in ours.
Oh man.
Yeah. Good times. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's get to this, man.
Check the bonds, check the rates. It's Rudy Deaver's Market Update. It's Rudy Deaver's Market Update. Woo!
I hope Rudy Devers is here.
He is. He already got a comment in the
Jen
post.
is ready for Call Stars Blitz today, brother. She's got
That's
it all
right. Let's go, baby. What's happening in the market today? Great stuff. Rates falling like crazy.
Actually, we were up 18 basis points yesterday or Friday, and we got a couple things coming up on us. We got ADP weekly job report this tomorrow, but the big one is the PCE for the inflation report. So that's going to make it a little interesting for us all come Thursday. And then we got mortgage applications on Wednesday, but not too much. We got 18 basis points improvement after we got our butt kicked on Thursday. So we got back a little bit what we lost on Friday. So, word is that a lot of the reports and stuff I'm reading out, Goldman Sachs is calling for at least one rate hike by the end of the year. So all that means for us is just get your workman's hat on and get ready to roll. That's all that means. So that's why we're doing Call Stars today. So
that is right. Yeah.
Hope to see everybody on there, dude. For sure.
Yeah, we're gonna rip right into that. Thanks for the update there. Is it so I don't really pay attention to the news very closely, but so the Iran deal, is that cattywampus or something, or is that causing issues?
They're still working on it, that kind of stuff. They signed a memo of understanding. They're trying to, and now they got 60 days. If they don't put together a deal in 60 days, we're gonna wipe them off the map, or something's going to happen. I don't know.
Once again, okay.
One of those things. But good news is oil's down to $74 a barrel today, and at one time it was at 119. So
There you go. That's a big improvement.
And I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing a little difference at the pumps as well. So I'll take it.
Nice. Cool, man. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
And the reason why that's so important, it permeates through the entire economy of fuel prices and stuff.
Yeah.
And you won't have to siphon oil out of other people's tanks and stuff.
Indeed. Ha. All right, let's get moving, my friends. I noticed we've got Carl White in the house. We'll give him a cheer. Hey, good morning to Carl.
Morning, brother.
Hey, Carl, I'm good, man. How was your trip? Did you have a good time?
I did have a good time. It's good to get back, though. There's nothing like as much as sometimes I fight a routine. It's not. It still amazes me how much I miss it when I'm out of it. So
indeed,
it's good to be back in the routine.
Yeah.
And we discovered something. Discovered something. So we just spent the last 10 days around. We went to, I think, 4 of the different Hawaiian islands. And we discovered, living here in Clearwater Beach, we discovered that going 4,300 miles is a long way to go to the beach. It's a long way to go to the beach.
Indeed.
When I just rode my bicycle down there this morning.
Right.
So it's a long way to go to the beach. So we put that in the next time. Don't go so far to go to the beach.
Yeah, let's think about that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, anyway, we're glad to have you back, man.
Good to be back.
We are discussing today, Carl. We wanted to talk about the Blitz today that's going on, and so I would like everyone whoever's going to be in the Blitz say yes in the chat. Raise your hand or say yes in the chat. Who's definitely participating in the Blitz today? And if you're not a member, look at all these guys. So if you're not a member, cool. Don't worry about it. We got a solution for you. And also, if you can't partake in the solution we've got for you, at least if you could even do it on your own today, right? Just do it on your own today. Let's make today a day that we're all going to get on the phones, man, and we're going to beat the phones. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to know what to do, what to say, who to talk to, right? We're going to get some deals in the door today. Because you got all these yeses in here. These are all people that have done it before, I would assume, right? Most of these people have done it before, and they're doing it again. And there's a gosh darn good reason for it, man. So that's what we kind of wanted to kick around today. It
only always works.
It does, brother. It does. It's amazing how phone calls work. I mean, hey, look, you know me. I'm a fan of email. I know you're a fan of email too, Carl. It certainly serves a purpose. But man, you couple emails with phone calls. You couple an air attack with email and social with phone calls, and now you're firing on all cylinders, man. And this is where the rubber meets the road.
Can I share a story?
Absolutely.
So I was thinking about this morning. So we all know that as salespeople, nothing pulls better than sales phone calls. Yeah. So do we do emails? Of course. Right? Do we do texting? Yes. Do we do social media? Yes. But the number one pull, we all know this, is making phone calls. And there is an extraordinary amount of money spent by loan officers. How can I bring loans in without making a phone call?
Right.
An extraordinary amount of money, right? So probably the number one spent money isn't on how to be successful at the phone calls, is how to avoid them, right? By far. I was thinking about that this morning on my bike ride, and it reminded me back when I was in the Air Force, I had a buddy of mine that stopped making his car payment, right? For whatever reason, right? Stopped making his car payment. And for a period of about a year, the car company was trying to repossess his car, but they couldn't find it, even though they knew where he lived. Actually, he lived on base, right? In base housing with me. He was one of my roommates. And every morning, he would have to leave for work about 20 minutes early because he'd have to walk about a mile to where he hid his car that day. And then at the end of the day, we would all be hanging out, playing cards and whatnot. And he'd come in about 30 minutes late because he had to go hide his car and walk about a mile for where he hit his car that day. He did that for about a year. Now, if he would have spent the same amount of time and energy on how can I make some extra money here? Because I did. I made extra money when I was in the Air Force. I had a part-time job and made some extra money and also started going to school so I could make a lot more money, right? If he'd have spent the same amount of energy that he spent for a year avoiding something, if he'd have spent that same amount of energy, how do I get to something, not how do I avoid something, he'd have been so much further ahead. And the funny thing I was thinking about this morning, like it multiplies. Like the things that I learned heading towards something, if you fast forward to today, and I know I'm not the only one here, but I've made tens of millions of dollars of personal W-2 income by all of the efforts that I spent heading towards something. Even back then, I learned things, I learned skills, I learned people skills. My part-time job was assistant manager at a grocery store. I learned how to talk to upset people, frustrated people, employees, and I all that stuff that I learned back then, I used to today, and have gained, other things from that, hanging out with you cool people. And he gained, sadly, none of that because he spent all his time trying to avoid something.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'll just identify, like embrace, how do I make this thing that I know is successful? How do I run toward it with open arms and embrace it and learn how to become a master of it? Like learn how to be a Tom Brady at that thing, learn how to be an Oprah at that thing. Instead of spending all the time and energy trying to avoid something, there's nothing gained on the avoidance of something. And if you're learning and embracing it, it's just an exponential growth that happens about it. So I'll never forget that guy. His name was Bob, oddly enough. And I know we have another story, but in this case, don't be Bob.
Yeah.
Like, don't be Bob. Like, embrace it, learn from it, encourage others, have people on your team that encourage you to run towards something, not how do I get away from the big bad boogeyman? Because there is no boogeyman, right? There is, and the time and energy spent avoiding something is just colossal waste of time, energy, money, and brain space. And so his brain was not in a good place that year while he's running away from the. If it had, it'd have been so. If he had just worked a part-time job, the hour he spent. And by the way, sometimes it was raining. Sometimes it was this up in Virginia. Sometimes it was snowing. Right? Sometimes it was hot. Sometimes it was cold. And all that energy he spent doing that. He'd say, "Hey guys, can y'all pick me up?" I'm gonna have no part in this. Right? You're doing something that I believed, was disrespectful to the promise that you made that you're gonna make your car payment. Right. And instead of spending all that energy trying to avoid it, if you'd, as we say in the South, manned up or womaned up, put your big boy, big girl pants on and do what needed to be done, it'd have been so much better off. So anyway, yeah, don't be Bob.
Yeah.
Did he get his car repossessed?
Eventually, he actually did. He got so far behind that he actually did. And actually what happened, he got a letter from the base commander ordering him to turn in the car because these third-party companies can contact the base and say, "Hey, I got a deadbeat here. Can you help me collect?" And of course, it's a bad representation of the Air Force by somebody doing something like that. So yeah, when he got a letter from the base commander, that halted that activity, and then he didn't have a car, and now he can't get one, right? Because he had a repossessed car. It just crazy. And I've done the same thing, avoiding activity and going through all this. I'm lifting 100 pounds to avoid lifting 10. It just doesn't make any sense,
Right.
So anyway, don't be Bob.
Can I share something, Carl?
Sure, man.
Yeah.
When I was a much younger man, in my early 20s, I lost a car. So when I wake up every morning, I'm so motivated. Once you've gotten something taken away from you, you don't ever want to go back. So
I hear that.
I got a picture of that car right up here on my wall too. So keeps me making my calls, brother, for sure.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm a psycho.
I went kind of through the same thing in 08, Bill, that, I got my butt handed to me, in 08 during the crash. I mean, it was rough. It was real rough. And I thought, you know what, that ain't going to happen again. And so I learned from it. And I like what Sue said. Sue said, I think the same thing about phone scammers. They sent the same amount of energy and drive they do on scamming people. If they could, realign that in a positive direction, you'd make more money.
Yep.
You'd be a success story. So anyway, thanks for letting me share that story, Frank.
Yeah, no, of course it's perfect, man. And so I think what we want to do is, first of all, I just want to remind everybody that if you're not a member and today's the day and you feel like putting some deals in the pipeline, you can get it done today. It's only $97. You'll get in, you'll be on Call Stars with everybody. You saw in the chat how many people are going to be there. It's going to be awesome. You're going to be around other successfully minded people who are doing the same thing, right? So it'll be a real encouragement for you to be there. We got the link in the chat. It's joinmmacallstars.com. You can still get on. We are kicking off immediately after the Breakfast Club. We're going to kick off at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So, after Breakfast Club, you got about 30 minutes break to get yourself psyched up and ready to go. Jump on Call Stars. It is for membership and for if you join today, it is the East Coast Call Stars link is what we use, right, Jen? We use the East Coast Call Stars link, and that's just going to stay lit up all day. So if you're West Coaster, you want to,
join whenever you can, right? Whatever your 9 o'clock is,
right?
And we'll be there waiting for you.
Yep. And so there you go. So let's talk about it today. And this again, if you can't join us, but you want to do this on your own, that's what this is about this morning, is to get ourselves lined up on exactly what we're going to do. What's the goal today, Jen? Who are we call? What's our pre-canned kind of? You can do a lot of things today, obviously, but there's several things that are available or talked about to do today. But what's the main purpose today? What are we trying to do?
So the goal today is to get 10 appointments.
Okay, realtor appointments, or does it matter? Okay, realtor appointments.
It's Monday. It's Thor's Hammer Day, Realtor Call Day. That's who we're calling today.
Okay.
So, I'm excited for it. It should be really good.
Okay, so our goal is to get 10 appointments. Now, Carl, I'm glad you're here. So we're going to have, obviously, you need a list of agents to call, right? So hopefully you've got that.
Never been easier, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, to get
Never
a list
been
is
easier.
super easy. Yeah. You've got your list. You're going to make your call. And of course, what stops most people is, what am I going to say? And Carl, you and Owen have talked about the S&P AI machine that's doing outbound calls, right? And it's making zillions of them. And you guys A/B tested basically what pulls better, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of a neat thing to use a machine to do that, because the machine isn't being influenced. It has no emotion. It doesn't care. It's going to do the same call, every single call for hundreds and hundreds of calls. What pulled best for the appointment, Carl?
Yeah, I lost this bet, by the way. So thanks for reminding me. Yeah, come to find out. And look, I've come to the obvious conclusion. It almost doesn't matter what you say as long as that conversation ends with an ask.
Yep.
Okay. Remember that, everybody.
Yeah. Conversation has to end with an ask. And honestly, I don't know if it really matters that much. However, in saying that, we found, much to my surprise, and painful to a bet with my wallet, that the number one script that set appointments was basically, I think you're awesome. I'd like to treat you to a cup of coffee. I'd like to have a Zoom meeting where you can tell me more about how awesome you are. And I thought for sure it was going to be, I've got this way to help you get an extra listing per month, like 12 listings in the next 12 months. That doesn't cost you a dime. And it worked. Right. And other different value adds that we do, they worked. But the number one pull, and probably the fastest and easiest to do, because there's no homework to learn how do I do that, is just say, I've heard nothing but great. I saw your numbers. It's pretty impressive. I'm a student of success. I'd love to do a Zoom meeting to see what you're doing that's making you so successful. And the who, so that's the what. The who, for me, would be the gap. And so the gap is this little...
Tell us about the gap. Yeah. What do you mean?
Gap is very powerful. So the gap is this little worksheet that we have that we can give you, by the way, on this, when you come to the Call Stars Blitz. We can move off of that if you need to, and we can give you different tools that you need. But the gap is, you make a list of all the agents that you've worked with in the last 2 years. both listings and buy side. So whether they're listing side or buy sides, make a list. And then you go through softwares. I know Chris Johnson's AI CRM does this automatically. That you go in there and say, all right, here's the list of agents. How many deals did they do last year? How many deals, how many buy sides did they do in the last 12 months, right? You click a couple buttons, 10 seconds later, it's not even 10 seconds. So there's your answer, right? So here's all the agents I worked with. Here's how many buy sides they did last 12 months. How many of those buy sides did I get? Mm-hmm. And let's say Jerry Shoup is one of my agents. And I saw Jerry did 14 buy sides. I got 7 of them. I'm good with Jerry. Me and Jerry, we're fine. I'm getting 50%. We're good. There's probably no, am I going to love on him? Of course. Love on her? Of course I am, right? But there's probably no future business to be gained. However, let's say Christine Smith was another agent, and I saw she did 12 buy sides, and I did 2 of them. I've got a gap of 10. That's a huge opportunity. Yep. And so anybody I'm less than 50% on, that's where your biggest opportunities. And frankly, I'm looking for my biggest gaps. So if I go from 4 to 6, that's a help. But if I only did 1 and they did 12 and I got a gap of 11 and I can gain 5 or 6 of those, that's a huge opportunity. So that's who I would call on today, would be my gaps, because it's not a cold call. They know who I am. We worked together in the past. They came to my restaurant. They had a little sample platter. They just didn't buy a full meal on that day. And so that's going to be your biggest opportunity, is going after your gap.
So, Chris, so here's the other thing, guys. To figure that out, if you, like in the AI CRM, you've got model match in there, right? And so you could look up your own production. You could look up you in there, and it'll lay out every transaction you've had over the 24 months. It'll have the agents listed on there. I believe it does, right, Chris? It states who the agents were and on those transactions, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's such an unfair advantage, by the way. That's such an unfair advantage.
So like in a matter of a couple of seconds, you could actually have your list of everyone there. Then from there, you could start clicking on agents' names, right, to see their production. So you could figure out this gap really, really quickly. Like, I think it would be like, maybe, we're going to be done at the top of the hour. Within that 30 minutes, I'll bet you could have your gap figured out of who those agents are that you want to start with. Anyway, very, very quickly by entering there. So that would be a great thing to do, is to figure that out and attack the gap, right? Attack those, because like Carl said, these are agents you've already worked with in some capacity, either as a buyer agent or as a selling agent. You've worked with them. So these are easy calls. So, hey, I would like to know this though. What would be the gap script there, Carl or Jen? Like, what would be that script? I
wouldn't change it. I mean, apparently the old hey Jim, I know we worked together in the past. Last May, you were the listing agent at 123 Main Street. Hey, and to be honest with you, Jim, I got this little handy dandy software. I was looking up different people's productions. Dude, I saw your numbers, brother, in today's market. Impressive. And Jim, I'm a student of success. I remember working with you, first rate team, class act. I'd like to learn from you, if I can be so bold. I'd love to treat you to a coffee. I'd love to have a Zoom meeting, 30-minute Zoom meeting with you to find out what are you doing that's getting you hitting such great numbers. Is Tuesday at 3:00 good for you, or is Wednesday at noon better?
Wonderful.
So good.
That's it.
Like simple, but it works.
Simple, but it only always works.
Yeah, and just so you know too, like Chris put the link in there, is that he does have a $1 trial too. So like if you wanted to be in the next 30 minutes, you could probably get on model match, get that all done, right, and get rip roaring ready to go. Do the Call Stars link.
Hey, but you know what I would do though, and I agree with that. I think it's the biggest. If you don't have this software, you're showing up to a tank fight with a slingshot.
Yeah.
And they're not Goliath, and you're not David. I'm just saying, right? You're going to get smoked, right? If it was right now, and you go, all right, Carl, I want to do this Call Stars things. I want to start in 30 minutes. What do I do?
Yeah.
If you haven't called your past database, that's probably where I would start today. Like, instead of going, all right, wait, I got to do some research, which is great. I recommend you do that last Friday.
Yes.
You go, all right, but hey, I didn't. What do I do now?
Yeah.
I would call my past database
Mm.
because there's still tremendous refinance opportunities, even if rates are ticking a little higher. The refinances are a huge part of our market right now, and it's the cash out refinances.
Yeah.
Right. So our members can go into the refi toolkit and get everything they need there. But if I was starting like this point, go, okay, quick, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I don't know who to call. If you know who to call, calling the realtors is going to be the best. Right. Because
Yeah.
when I call when I call realtor Vince Queen, I don't get one deal from him. I get the next 10.
That's right.
Right. So that's
Indeed.
where I'd
Yep.
start. If they go, wait, I'm a little overwhelmed by that. I don't think I can get started. Awesome. Call your past database. So on Call Stars, there are going to be people calling their past database. There are going to be people calling the leads that you got in the last 2 years. Who didn't close? Who didn't buy yet? I'll give you a stat. Only 15% of your leads, only 15% of the people that make their initial contact to a realtor buy in the next 90 days. 15, 1-5. 85% buy after 90 days. So those leads you got that didn't buy, they weren't just tire kickers. They just weren't ready yet. Right
Yep.
now it's after 90 days. I don't care if it's been 6 months or a year. Those are some hot leads. Call those people. Hey, did you buy a house yet? No. How come? Why not?
Can I jump in with a quick story?
Yeah.
Quick. So I got a call last last Monday from a former client. They bought the house 5 years ago, 3%, 20% down, right? We look at clients like that when we're calling our last data, our database thinking, what do they need from me? This couple was so stressed out. They had $120,000 in debt. They've had 3 kids in the last 5 years. Or something like that. Maybe it's been 6 years. 2 kids in daycare, student loans, credit card debt. I talked to the husband. He said, can you please call my wife? I talked to the wife. Later in the afternoon, I had a conference call with both of them. I cannot even tell you the stress that was in this young couple's voice. They were so glad they talked to me. Yet I locked them in at 5.875 on a cash out refi. Yes, taking them from a 3% conventional to 5.875 FHA, because his score has tanked because he's got so much debt. He's still saving $2,700 a month.
Wow.
So call your database. I mean, I'm calling realtors today, but call your database because people need us. There's a lot of debt out there.
Yeah.
And even if we go one step further and your database isn't in like working order, right? You've got it here and there and everywhere. We're doing this thing today too called contact to agent funnel. Just everybody in your phone.
Yep.
There's no, you don't have, that's not a lot of preparation, right? Open up your phone, hit contacts and start dialing. So join us. We'll go over the script and all that stuff for that. But yeah.
And as the technology guy, Carl and Frank and Jen, it's like, Carl, that whole go hide your car and walk, a lot of people use the CRM as the excuse to not make the calls. Like today for Call Stars, the thing that's most powerful is show up with what you got and make the calls to the people that you've got, but make the phone calls. Get into the stream, get into the momentum, and then understand the power of the daily success plan. It's like, oh, I made my calls today, and this is what I was able to do today. What if I make my calls tomorrow? And the day after, and the day after. And it creates this incredible momentum, which is why I love Call Stars. My favorite part of Call Stars is the day after Call Stars, when everybody shows up and it's like, you're not going to believe what happened when I made my phone call. So don't let the technology be an excuse to not make your calls. Show up with what you got, make your calls today, do the sign up tomorrow, and get the tool ready to go. But pick up the phone and make the calls today, because that's action is what creates the result.
And on Call Stars, somebody said, hey, do you have scripts for the past day? So what we're going to do is on Call Stars, that as you're doing it, if you go, hey, I have a question about this, most of the time we can answer it right in the chat. But if you need to, I'll pull you off and we'll go into a little sub room or go into my private link and we'll discuss it for like 5 or 10 minutes. But, we just want you to be taking action today. Right. So like, what's the quickest thing? What's the quickest, what phone call can I make today that's going to give me my best results the fastest?
Right.
Right. And we got a little cheat sheet. I think it's got like five. I think it's got 5 different scripts with 5 different scenarios, depending upon, are you calling past leads? Are you calling your past database? Are you calling realtors you work with? Like, we have 5 basic paths that you can take on this phone call, because it's not cookie cutter. Like, it's whatever's best for you, and we can go over those during during that call. I can pull you off, and we can do a real quick 5-minute little chat and kind of get you squared up for it. But gosh, just make your don't be Bob. Somebody made a comment. I bet he was in great shape. He was a little bit sunburned. A
little frostbite.
A little frostbite sometime, but you're right. He did have strong legs. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, once again, guys, it's okay. Look, man, it's $97 if you're not a member to jump on and do this. Please just do it. Right? If you want to get some appointments today, if you want to get some leads, you want to get a transaction, it's going to happen today, right? People are going to get appointments, leads, and transactions today on Call Stars. That is what is going to happen. So just go to joinmmacallstars.com, get set up. You signed up. You will get helped. You will get kind of trained up. You can figure it, like Carl said, there's going to be multiple options that you can do. You'll get, dialed in on whatever it is you're going to pursue. Start pursuing it. You'll be with everybody else doing the same thing. You'll have all the motivation in the world in the chat from other people doing it. All the successes, the questions, it'll be, hey, this happened. What do I do? Someone will help you, right? You'll get the help, and you'll keep going, and you'll make your calls. You'll have an epic day today.
Yeah, Meg and I will be on there all day. Carl's going to be on there. Jim's going to be hopping on, some of the coaches. So that'll be fun. And I think this is one of the things, probably what the best thing you can do today for your future self. Your future self will thank you if you get on and make these calls today.
That's right. That's right. Hey, let's end with this. Everybody who's going to be on today, who's committed to being on today, unmute. I want you to unmute right now. You guys do it? Everybody unmute. Everybody unmute, right? Let's get ourselves pumped up. You guys ready? You ready to go?
Yes.
Let me hear it. You ready? Who's going, baby? Who's in?
Let's do this.
Let's do it, baby. All stars. Let's go.
Let's go.
Right on, man. Good stuff. We'll see you guys here tomorrow. Enjoy Call Stars today. Kill it, my friends. We'll see you. Adios.
Have a great day. We'll see you guys soon.